Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you for the end of the video here to bring the showdown slate between the Indiana Pacers and the Washington Wizards. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL sites on Draftkings. I also make videos for NBA Top Shot. If you're unable to watch these videos, I also upload on Apple Podcasts. Link down below is called the DKDFS Show. And if you could take a minute or two out of your day to leave a rating and review, that would help me out a ton because every single rating review boosts me up in the podcast rankings. If you're interested in signing up for premium content, I offer that on patreon.com, an esports package that includes Call of Duty and CSGO. We got CSGO sites every single day. So if you like a morning sweat, again, most of the CSGO sites are in the morning, so it's nice to have a little, again, sweat in the morning. And then Call of Duty slates usually 4 times a week. I also offer an NBA package. NBA package will go over every single main slate. We'll talk about the late showdown slate. I'll break down for each video breakdown, and then I'll also talk about, the early showdown when people ask questions in the Patreon live stream. We had some takedowns today for the early showdown slate, looking decent for the late showdown slate. So that's always a good sign. And I do want to thank Prize Picks for sponsoring this show. I should have them up. So once it loads up here, if you guys are not familiar with Prize Picks, they will post fantasy scores or fantasy projections, and you can either take the over or the under based on how you feel. So they also have single stat DFS. You can take over under on points, assists, rebounds, and 3-pointers made. But let's just look at this, okay? This game is going to be super high scoring. Both teams play no defense. Almost a 240 over under. I would take the over on that. But yeah, back to Prize Picks. Like, honestly, with Sabonis, Westbrook, and Beal, give me the over on all 3. And Brogdon, if he's, he might have to play a little bit more here. Like, give me the over on all 4 of those guys. I think those are set too low. I do. For, do or die time, yeah. I like the over on all of those. Role players, I don't have a super strong take on any of these guys, but Beal, Brogdon, Westbrook, Sabonis, I'll take the over on all 4. So, if you guys want to try it out, you can sign up and use the code DKDFS. DKDFS, all one word, link down below. You will get a 100% match up to $100. You put $100 in, you get a free $100 to play with, or $200 total. And finally, I just want to thank you guys for the continued support on this channel, closing in on the 9.1 thousand subscriber mark. So if you guys do enjoy this content, if you hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload videos, when I go live. I will be doing a YouTube live stream tomorrow, and I want to give a special shout out to all of you who have been, continuing to, give me super chats in the live streams. That is greatly, greatly appreciated. Tori, Patrick, a bunch of you guys. Again, thank you so much for all the support. All right, so before we talk about players and their prices for the showdown slate, we can look back behind up here from the 2-game main slate. So, 2-game main slate. I was going back and forth with Triple J and Dylan Brooks. Triple J, Dylan Brooks, Triple J, Dylan Brooks. A fellow Patreon member went Dylan Brooks, and he's probably going to take down because of it. I went Triple J. It hurts. It hurts. I'll probably still end up getting into the cash, but could have been a takedown if I just go Dylan Brooks. Again, never, ever make the right 50-50 call, it feels like. But I can get out of the way so you guys can see. So, mention, the Spurs are just way too cheap here, right? All of them, like, there's so many guys underpriced. I said you can play anywhere from 3 to 5. Now, DeJounte Murray went absolutely off. Again, needed him. Demar Derozan, it is what it is, right? You can't expect the guy to shoot like 4 of 20. So I will play DeMar DeRozan in that spot 100 times out of 100. So if you played DeMar DeRozan, you made the correct move today. Again, that's like a very outlier performance in a must-win game, shooting like 4 of 20. So again, I'm not even tilted about it because it was the correct move. And he was 75% in the high dollars he should have been. Again, just floor game, couldn't hit a shot. Mentioned Rudy Gay being my favorite San Antonio Spur. He went for 31. He ended up getting me the takedown in that last 3 at the end, which is huge. You guys know I was playing Jonas Valanciunas. We are Jonas Valanciunas fans here on this channel. I play him every slate. Right now, he is just, again, he continues to be way underpriced, 7.6K. 30% of people faded him. Just put your money in the fire if you fade JV. Steph Curry. So I had a little bit of a slow start, but this game in general just super ugly. Again, I didn't want a ton of exposure to this game. I told you guys, hey, the Lakers are a team I hate, my least favorite team. But I went with my favorite Laker on this 2-game slate being KCP. He's got 12.5. Again, it was just a price point thing. I wasn't playing LeBron. I wasn't going to play AD. I wasn't going to play any of those guys in the mid-range. The Lakers didn't make sense really on this main slate. But so I want Steph and KCP in the late game, and then Triple J, again, if I go Dylan Brooks there, I'm looking at a takedown. It is what it is. We were talking about this in the Patreon live stream a lot. I know a lot of you guys ended up going with Brooks over Jackson. Some went with Jackson with me. It's still going to be a solid night, but Brooks over Jackson there, it's probably a takedown. And then Jakob Poeltl, again, thought was pretty clear value, right? The Spurs are way, way underpriced. So that is it for the look back here at my main slate. Again, all I have to do really to cash is pass this lineup train, who's basically the same, except they had Lonnie Walker for KCP. So I need like six points from KCP in the second half, which he probably won't get me, knowing my luck. But yeah, that's it for the main slate look back. Now I want to go over the showdown slates, and we go over this all the time. Jonas Valanciunas in the captain. Are you guys surprised? Right? No. Now Demar Derozan was in the winning lineup. Even though he had an awful game, he was still in the winning lineup. Paired him with Murray, Gay, Poeltl, and I used Brooks here. So I kind of hedged my bet, right? I used Triple J in the main slate, but I used Brooks in the showdown slate because I wanted to hedge my bet. I truly thought it was 50-50 though there with those two. So used him in the showdown slate, got me the takedown. The main slate not going to get the takedown, but still looking pretty decent there. And then this is my lineup here for the late showdown slate. So we went over this on Patreon. I was Steph Curry in the captain no matter what. I didn't care. I was playing Steph Curry in the captain. I was like, I know he's going to be popular. I don't care. I am playing him in the captain spot. Used AD and LeBron here. Obviously, both have somewhat bad starts, but expect them to pick it up a little bit here in a game they need to win, or else they play again on Friday. And then Poole, KCP, Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney only 36% in the showdown slate. I thought he was the best value, one of the safest values, I should say, on the board. So that is it for the look back, guys. Hope you had a good night. And now let's talk about this showdown slate between the Indiana Pacers and the Washington Wizards. I am so excited for this. I'm really pulling for my boy Sabonis here and the Pacers to pull it off. They've been banged up all year. Sabonis is playing out of his mind. Like Jonas Valanciunas, in my opinion, two of the most underrated players in the NBA. JV and Sabonis do not get any love, and they have been phenomenal this year. So let's start off with the Indiana Pacers. Again, we want to briefly over the over-under. 238.5 over-under, 3-point favorites to the Wizards. It's going to be a shootout. There's going to be no defense played. I am excited. So before we talk about the players' prices here, what I want to do is want to show you guys the rotation here for the Indiana Pacers in their last game against the Hornets. So it was, they started Brissett, Brogdon, Justin Holiday, Sabonis, and McDermott. And then they brought McConnell, Sumner, Keelan Martin, Aaron Holiday, and Goga off the bench. So it was actually a 10-man rotation in a close game, which was a little bit surprising. I thought they would trim it down. They actually extended the rotation. Now, will we see a 10-man rotation again? I'm not convinced about it. So we'll talk about, some of those guys I think are a little bit risky for the Pacers, possible DNPs. Now, Sumner got injured again. Literally, injured, for the last 4 games he's played. But, yeah, so, going over, the value plays here. So, T.J. McConnell played about 12 minutes in the first half and then was probably on pace to play about 12 again in the second half, maybe a little bit more. So, expect about 25 to 30 minutes from McConnell. Sumner played, 7 minutes in the first half. Again, then re-aggravated that knee injury. He didn't come back in. Keelan Martin played, about 4 minutes in the first half. So, and then he came back in a little bit that was the third quarter. So he wasn't going to play a ton. Got extended because of the blowout. So be careful with a guy like Keelan Martin. Same thing with Aaron Holiday. He played Aaron Holiday played 4 minutes. Keelan Martin actually played a little bit more. Keelan Martin played about 7 minutes in the first half. So he played a little bit more than Aaron Holiday. And then Goga played about 7 in the first half too. Again, a lot of those guys got extended because of the blow-up. I thought it was pretty important to go over that in a close game, what the minutes would be. So, Sabonis, 11. I'm not fading him. I am not fading Domantas Sabonis. He is one of the top plays at the slate. We'll go over roster construction at the end. It's definitely stars and scrubs. Malcolm Brogdon at 10K for this showdown slate is more contrarian. We have Beal, we have Westbrook, we have Sabonis. Much prefer them. They're going to play more. Brogdon probably only plays about 30 to 32 minutes. So Brogdon right now, nothing more than a contrarian spend up on this showdown slate. TJ McConnell at 8K, I just have a hard time prioritizing him. Again, when we have Sabonis, we have Beal, we have Westbrook. I'm not saying TJ McConnell can't get there, but I'm not really going to prioritize him. Same thing with O'Shea Brissett, right? It's just a price point where it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Now, Doug McDermott tilted me and got off to made his first 5 shots. I think he's playable. Again, though, don't expect him to shoot 80% from the field. He should get about 25-ish minutes, maybe a little bit more. Same with Justin Holiday. I'm expecting about 25 to 30 minutes from both these guys. But the price points don't make a ton of sense in the showdown slate for me to get really, really excited. Now, for the value, Goga went absolutely off. Again, got extended because of the blowout. He's a decent point per minute guy. I think normally we'll probably get about 12 minutes from Goga here. The Wizards, they do have a traditional center out there at all times. I do think Goga plays. He should play, again, the backup 5. Should play about 12 minutes unless something crazy happens and the game blows out or Sabonis gets in foul trouble. So 12 minutes of Goga, 4-2. Is viable. Is viable. Obviously, there's a little bit of risk. And Keelan Martin probably only plays same thing, maybe about 12 to 14 minutes. So don't love it. Aaron Holiday probably only gets about 10 minutes in a close game. So not really considering him. Sumner, again, he got injured. Maybe they go back down to a 9-man rotation. And then that was it for the main rotation. Sampson, Stanley, they got in at the end in the blowout. And then we went to the Washington Wizards. Love Westbrook, love Beal. I'm going to try to prioritize all 3 of the main studs in Sabonis, Westbrook, and Beal. So, yeah, Westbrook obviously is pricey. I don't care. He had a bad game last game. I have a hard time fading both him and Beal. They both look phenomenal. So that being said, again, you guys kind of see where I'm going in the showdown slate. I have a hard time getting to the mid-range guys. I just don't think it makes sense if you're trying to build an optimal build. Now, sure, you could, crazy things can happen. One of those stars can have a really bad game, and then maybe, one of the guys in the mid-range ends up being in the optimal lineup. But I just have, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take some weird stuff for that to happen. So I know Rui only played 17 minutes last game. He was in foul trouble. He should play over 30. Again, it's just the price it's hard to get to. Neto, he played awful, and the minutes went down for him. I have no interest there. Ish Smith's a guy I do have some interest. He's one value guy that I think is intriguing because, again, he's a good scorer. He played 26 minutes last game. I'm expecting about 25 minutes on the bench for him. I don't expect him to continue to shoot that well, but, again, Ish is a guy that can score the ball. So I actually do have some interest there in Ish Smith. Bertans, be careful. I know he shot 1 of 8 last game. He also got extended because of Rui Hachimura foul trouble. So if Rui doesn't get in foul trouble, we get less minutes of Bertans, maybe only 20 to 25. So I'm not saying he's out of play. He is still playable, but he's got to get hot behind the three-point line. So, yeah, Bertans is viable, but don't expect 33 minutes, right? He got extended because of Rui foul trouble. Now we get to the headache of these centers. Gafford, Leno, Lopez. If we're not looking at pricing, my favorite's Gafford. He's the best point per minute guy, and I think he's their best center. And he did play a little bit more last game, played 21. I did come back, for a little bit of the garbage time, I guess, but Gafford is my favorite if we're not looking at pricing. He's at 4. Now, taking pricing consideration, he's at 4-4 with Len at 2-4, Lopez at 2-2. Now, Len did not look good. Again, he is a decent offensive player, a guy that can get you some putbacks, can get you a block or two. But he really did not look good in that game. So I'm wondering, does Scott Brooks do the right thing and take Len out of the rotation? We'll see. He should. If Scott Brooks does the smart thing and takes Len out of the rotation, then I love Gafford and Lopez for value, because then I think Len gets a DNP, and these guys should split the center minutes probably pretty evenly, about 24 each. And they're both pretty decent point per minute guys, even though Lopez had a bad game last game and only 16 minutes. So monitor that. If Len ends up starting, then it's basically the same situation of it's kind of a guessing game. They're going to go with the hot hand. Again, Gafford, if we're not looking at pricing, is my favorite, but he is a little bit more expensive. I know Lopez had the bad game last game, but he's still a guy that can play over 20 minutes. And again, Gafford is a guy that struggles with foul trouble too. So tricky one here, the center rotation. I think this is key to being profitable in the showdown site, is getting this center rotation correct. And then finally, So going over the rotations here for the Wizards. So let's see. Garrison Matthews did not play in the first half, but then since Neto was playing so bad, he actually got a stint in the third quarter. He played about 6 minutes, 6 to 8 minutes. Keep an eye on that. Like, monitor if they start Neto again. If they don't, and they start Garrison Matthews, and he's playable. Again, I don't like playing this guy at all because he's got his threes, but he's the flat min price. So monitor to that one. Chandler Hutchinson played a little bit in the first half. He played about 5.5 minutes, and then played about 8. Or that was Gafford. He played. Where's Hutchinson? Sorry, he played 4 and 3. So Hutchinson actually played about 7 minutes in the first half, and then didn't come back in until garbage time. So, Hutchinson's kind of fringe in, fringe out of the rotation. It's not something you can really go to with confidence. So, that is it really for the team by team breakdown, I guess. Now let's talk about roster construction. So I hinted this is stars and scrubs, and Brogdon's just too close in price to Beal and Sabonis. That just doesn't make sense for me to get to Brogdon unless we get news that there's no limit. Then I think Brogdon becomes firmly in play. But assuming he gets limited to close to 30 minutes, I just much rather get to Beal, Sabonis, and Westbrook. So, and I don't think I can place like a value guy in the captain. I don't think it makes a ton of sense because, okay, let's just go over roster. Let's just go over it. So let's just say, for example, I don't know, we throw Beal in the captain with Sabonis and Westbrook. Like, I think playing all three of these guys and one of them in the captain is the optimal build. But then you're gonna have to look for value. So let's just say, I don't know. So let's just say we throw Ish and like a cheap center in here, like Len or Lopez. Let's just throw Len in there. Then you could Lopez. So like it would be like those 3 plus 3 value. If you go a value guy in the center, it really doesn't save you much. Like if you go Ish Smith in the captain spot, you can still get obviously Westbrook, Sabonis, and Beal, but then you're kind of still in the same situation of you got to play 2 value guys, right? So like take that into consideration. Even if you throw like a Gafford in there, like I don't think it makes sense to do that. You're sacrificing too much by throwing one of those value guys in there. It doesn't open up enough, right? You still can't get like 4 stars. You can't get all 4 of them, and like the mid-range guys, there's not a ton. So like I don't think it opens up enough to do that, unless you're just trying to get really, really contrarian. You hope maybe Gafford has a ceiling game. Now, I will say, if they start Gafford, then I actually think that is a viable build. It is viable. It is still contrarian. It is still suboptimal, but I think it's at least viable. So going back to what I think optimal build is, again, you play all 3 of the top guys, and you play one of them in captain. Now, let's try Westbrook in the captain, right? If you go Westbrook, Sabonis, Beal, it leaves you up just under 3K remaining. Now, can you make that work? It is doable. It is doable. You're probably going to have to play one or even both of the value Wizard centers. So if you go, let's see, Lopez and Len, then still questionable, right? Because then you got to play a guy like Aaron Holiday. He probably only plays like 10 to 12 minutes in a close game unless something weird happens. So again, that's doable, but you might be sacrificing too much with Westbrook in the captain. So for me, I think optimal build is either Sabonis or Beal in the captain with all 3 of these guys, right? So if you go Beal in the captain with Sabonis and Westbrook, you have about 3.4K remaining. If you go Sabonis in the captain with Westbrook and Beal, you have about 3.2K remaining. So those are the 2 optimal builds. Those are the 2, I think, optimal builds on the Showdown slate. And then value, right? So the value we're considering, the Wizard centers, especially if Len is out of the rotation, then I really like Gafford and Lopez. But like all 3 of them are right now in play because they're all decent point per minute guys. Again, Sumner, if he plays, you can do it. He's the last 4 games he's left because of injury, so it worries me. Again, Aaron Holiday not going to play a ton. Keelan Martin, Goga, these guys are viable too, right? These guys are viable value plays. They're not going to play huge minutes, kind of like the Wizards center. So like really, you have guys like Ish, Justin Holiday, Bertans, Gafford, Goga, Keelan, Aaron Holiday, Len, Lopez. Like you got to try to make it work with those 3 stars because I think doing anything less than either Sabonis or Beal and the captain with the 3 stars is putting you in a disadvantage, unless you're just trying to get really, really contrarian and you hope something weird happens. So, I think that is really going to do it for the video today, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate if you have a like button on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload videos, you know when I live. I will be doing a quick YouTube live stream for the Showdown site tomorrow, maybe only 15 to 20 minutes, because this Showdown site, it's like, how much can I really talk about that? But yeah, I'll do a quick live stream tomorrow, so make sure to check it out, guys. Thanks again, have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow in the live stream.